what is it? Big Ten Media Days this week.
Yep.
Lincoln Riley. I guess I might make a video. Lincoln Riley, man, ran from Oklahoma so he wouldn't be, because he was scared of scared of the SEC deal. That's the rumor anyway. Gets out to Southern Cal, hasn't done well. I mean, did okay his first year, made the Pac-12 title game, but got dominated, up front on both lines of scrimmage against Utah twice that year. Got dominated again last year by Utah, lost 5 games with a Heisman winning quarterback. Literally everybody on the planet knows what's wrong with Southern Cal specifically and Lincoln Riley generally, right? Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, it's the defense.
Right.
Yes, as every year he's had a terrible defense.
Yes. Now,
every year.
In certain years for Lincoln Riley, I'm sure you could pinpoint an additional issue or two. Like maybe there was a year somewhere where they didn't have a great field goal kicker, or maybe there was a year somewhere where their offensive line was a little subpar or whatever. But the overarching theme for Lincoln Riley in the 9 years, whatever it is now he's been coaching at Oklahoma and now Southern Cal, you literally can ask any even casual college football fan, what's the deal with Lincoln Riley? And they're going to say the same thing 100% of the time. Defense. They got no defense. It's one of the most obvious shortcomings over an extended period of time in the history of college football. Like I can go back and talk about Georgia from, 2000 to 2010 or something. They won 2 SEC titles, but I can go through year by year and I can point out, well, yeah, they won the SEC title this year, but they couldn't go any further because they were weak in this area and that area and here. Or, 2008, they probably had the best team in the country, but they lost 2 games early in the year, and that was just it. Like, but with any Lincoln Riley team, there is none of that. It's defense. Why did Lincoln Riley keep making the playoffs at Oklahoma every year but couldn't win a playoff game? Well, because they played in the Big 12, which was garbage. They had one of the best offenses in the country every single year with Heisman winning quarterbacks and no defense at all. Same thing now at Southern Cal. So it is so clear and obvious that everybody can see that except Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley gets up there yesterday, and I don't even know what question he was asked. I've only seen the answers that he gave. He basically said, well, maybe we should start doing what Alabama is doing and just, not scheduling anybody. And then he was asked about the Notre Dame game, and he goes, I love playing Notre Dame. I know it's a Southern Cal tradition. They play every year forever. But if not playing Notre Dame helps us win a championship, then we need to consider that. And I'm sitting here going, hold on now. Hold on. There ain't been a single year since you've been at Southern Cal where playing Notre Dame has cost you a championship. Not one. Not one. Notre Dame, I don't even know where to start. It's so, in a 12-team playoff, Southern Cal playing Notre Dame means nothing in terms of ability to win a national championship. Nothing. They could lose to Notre Dame 100-0 every year and still get a first-round bye. It's got nothing to do with whether or not Southern Cal wins a national championship. Nothing. There never was a year where, in the 14 playoff era, there never was a year in the 14 playoff era where Southern Cal went 11-1 with a loss to Notre Dame, and that kept them out of the playoffs. That never happened. They averaged 5 losses a year during the playoff era. Southern Cal has averaged 5 losses a year from 2014 to now. What is this? If we could just get Notre Dame off the schedule, we could win. No, hey, field a defense. He goes, look at Alabama. They don't schedule for their fans. They schedule for championships. I don't, it's one thing when you get some idiot in the comment section that goes, Georgia weak schedule. They might as well get an invitation to the playoffs every year. Oh, the Alabama don't play no by. But there's one thing when you get these idiots in the comment section for a head coach to do it, you're out of your. You have to be just completely out of your mind. We can go back to the Florida State Georgia argument from last year. Oh, Florida State, we went undefeated and they left us out. What? Well, Georgia went 12-1 and got left out. And then what about, easy ass schedule, SEC. Georgia last season, Vic, how many top 10 teams did Georgia play last year?
Let's see, like
4.
3.
4. Okay. What was their record in those 4 games?
4-0.
3-1. 3-1.
Oh, okay.
I know you'd like to forget it, but we lost to Alabama. Georgia played Alabama, Florida State, Missouri, and Ole Miss. Those are 4 top 10 teams. Georgia went 3-1. Okay. Tennessee has 1 win against a top 10 team in the last 20 years. 1. And this isn't a shit on Tennessee thing. This is a stop telling me Georgia didn't play nobody thing. Georgia went 3-1 against the top 10 last year. Their only loss was by 3 points in the SEC championship game. They blew out Ole Miss by 30. They beat Mizzou by 10. And they beat Florida State by 60. They were 3-1 against top 10 teams. Vic, what was Florida State's record against top 10 teams last year?
Let's see.
0-1 with a 60-point loss. They were 0-1. They played 1 top 10 team. 1. And they got beat by 60. But yeah, if Southern Cal could just somehow get Notre Dame off the schedule, a team that Georgia is 2-0 against, by the way, in the playoff era. 2-0 with a win at Notre Dame. But yeah, if Lincoln Riley could just get Notre Dame off the schedule, same Notre Dame team that hasn't won a major postseason game since 1991. Yeah, that's it, Lincoln Riley. If you could just start scheduling like the SEC, fucking idiot. Ah, damn, you're a fucking retard. Vic, can you please answer me this question since you're here to explain the situation? Is that correct? You're going to explain this? You're here to explain shit, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please tell me the last time the ACC champion won a postseason game? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, I guess it was back in 2019.
5 years ago?
Clemson beat Ohio
Holy
State.
shit.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me the ACC champion hasn't won a postseason game in 5 fucking years?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wow, can't believe Florida State got left out. God damn. Have you not been paying attention? Of course, Florida State. When was the last time the ACC even made the playoffs? 2021? Hello? Are you going to explain that?
Yeah, again, it was, I think it was 2020, I think.
2020? So they haven't even made the playoffs since COVID?
Yeah.
I sure do hope Southern Cal can get Notre Dame off the schedule. Man. I'd love to know how getting Notre Dame off the schedule is going to help Southern Cal whenever they now have to play 8 Big Ten teams a year. That's what he needs to figure out, how to get all 8 of those Big Ten teams off his schedule. That's what he needs to figure out. You know what he needs? He needs to figure out a way to get Southern Cal into the ACC. That's what he needs. Then he'll have a chance. Again, I brought up Tennessee record against the top 10, not to shit on Tennessee, but to make a point. It's not easy to win top 10 games. It's not easy. And Tennessee is something like 1 in 25 in the last 15 years against top 10 teams, or whatever they are. But I mean, they're just horrible against top 10 teams. But a lot of people are horrible against top 10 teams because they're not a top 10 team. Florida State went 0-1 against top 10 teams last year. Georgia went 3-1. But all you hear is that Georgia don't play nobody. Well, Georgia played 4 nobodies that were ranked in the top 10 and beat 3 of them. So he played nobody. Yeah. Georgia ain't played nobody, but they keep beating all the nobodies they played. Meanwhile, you keep playing people and you keep playing somebody and losing to them. But yeah, I hope you can get Notre Dame off the schedule. And whatever transfer quarterback they bring in from year to year. That would be great. You know who's not interested in getting Notre Dame off the schedule? Marshall. Stanford. Do they have more wins against Notre Dame than Lincoln Riley? Damn.
Yeah.
He didn't lose to Notre Dame both years, did he? He beat them 2 years ago, I think. He beat them his first year there.
Yeah.
But he lost to Notre Dame last year, did he not?
Yeah. You got blown out by Notre Dame last year.
Okay, so he's got the same record against Notre Dame in his time at Southern Cal as Stanford does in the last 2 years, which is amazing. And unbelievable, too. This don't make no sense. Who they played? You know what? Most people that show up in my comment section or call into my show and tell me Georgia ain't played nobody are a fan of a team that Georgia has played. Like I don't ever hear like I don't know, like I don't ever get a call from a Penn State fan telling me Georgia ain't played nobody. You know who calls me and tells me Georgia ain't played nobody? The Florida fan, the Alabama fan, the Tennessee fan, the Oregon fan, the Michigan fan, the Ohio State fan, the Ole Miss fan, the Auburn fan, the Texas fan, the Texas A&M fan. This is who calls me and tells me just a whole list of nobodies that Georgia has played. Because here's the thing, Vic. If you ain't played nobody, then that means you have played nobody. And all these people call me up and they're fans of the nobody.
Yeah.
They're fans of the nobody. It's like Florida. Well, Georgia's schedule's so goddamn easy. That's because of you. That's because of you. Nobody told me Georgia's schedule was easy in the early 2000s and the late 90s when Tennessee and Florida actually had their head above water. Nobody told me that. We're playing the same fucking teams. Are you going to explain that?
Yeah, I think
I gotta go refill my coffee now. I've done got mad now. I'll be back. Can you explain that while I'm gone?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back as soon as I can, or sooner if possible.